Are you looking to learn how to make the perfect scrunchie? Silk scrunchies or satin scrunchies that are perfect for curly hair hacks and great for natural hair hacks also. By the end of today's tutorial, you will learn the easiest way to make scrunchies. For the best creative DIY and fashion content, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a video every Tuesday. I have a Facebook page that is dedicated to DIY, crafts, fashion, and home improvements that you're able to join. Now it's your turn. So this week's project is due to the alcohol ink project that I completed. White spots that you see in this video is because I put oil on the paper and the oil created this white effect with the alcohol ink, and I loved it. Then I tried it on 100% cotton, and the cotton looked so beautiful that I then incorporated some coarse salt onto the 100% cotton, and this is the effect that it got. It was really gorgeous, which I really like the Dupioni Silk. This one here has a very small amount of oil put on there, whereas the next one I put a little bit too much oil, but I still like it. It looks really cool. It still has that effect that is actually in style this year. Folding up the Dupioni Silk in an accordion style, and this is the effect that I got. The silk charmeuse was really beautiful. I really like this effect, and so we're going to take this into our scrunchie tutorial. To start off, we're going to fold our fabric in half, and we're going to leave about 5 to 6 centimeters opening, and then we're going to stitch from the opening all the way down to the end of the fabric. Now with this opening, we're just going to use that, and we're going to turn our fabric around so that our fabric is inside out. Once we've done that, we have one side where it's sewn all the way up and the other side that has the opening. We're going to match the seams together. We're going to place our hand inside that open seam together so that they match. Then you're going to slip your finger in and turn our fabric around on the inside so that the right sides are together, and then we're going to stitch all the way around it. Now because it's silk, try and either do double stitching, pink it, or zigzag. And then put a little pin to hold your fabric together. Now to encase your elastic, I normally do a weave into my elastic, and I'm going to push my elastic into my opening, and then I'm going to take the end and I'm going to pin the end so I don't lose my elastic while I'm feeding my elastic through my casing. So once you finish feeding your elastic through your casing, I want you to extend the elastic, and you can do a tie, and make sure you're going to do 2 ties so that every time you pull your scrunchie, your knot gets tighter and your elastic doesn't run through your scrunchie. Put the elastic on top of each other, and you're going to stitch with a sewing machine, or you can hand stitch the sides, and you're going to close off that scrunchie. Now I wanted to just insert a little tip here for your elastic. When you're doing your elastic, you want to pull your elastic, stretch it all the way through to make sure it's not twisting, and take out any twist that you have in the elastic. Once you've actually done that, then you're going to put the elastics on top of each other, stacking them, and you're going to stitch one end and stitch the other end. And if you want, you can do a middle stitch. Now for the Dupioni Silk, what I did was I wanted to show you how to do a top stitch. So you're going to leave your same opening, but instead of having to hand stitch it, you're going to fold in your seam allowance. Ensure that you have all your threads and anything that's sticking out pushed in between the fabric, and you're just going to top stitch all along your opening seam, and that's fine too for a scrunchie. And this is what the top stitch looks like. It's not bad, and it's really not noticeable if you do it really small. If you are interested in creating a twisted effect on your scrunchie, before you close off the elastic, pull your scrunchie and you're going to just twist it together, and you'll see that it creates a different look. And then you'll continue on with the process that I showed you before on how to stitch your elastic. Now for the same scrunchie, what we want to do is because we went and left both sides open, we're going to fold under 1/4 inch on both sides, and we're going to just hand base those two seams together, And what I did was I checked to see actually which side was a little bit nicer, and I made sure the side that was going to be underneath was going to be a little bit smaller in the seam allowance, so that when you turn it over you don't have a lot of bulk. Okay, and you're going to put it to the end, quarter to quarter, and then we're going to just go and hand stitch that closed. Comment down below if you're interested in making these scrunchies for this spring or fall. Now for the two-toned fabric, we are going to take one piece, which I folded in half, and you want the half that's being folded that you see here. If that's the side that you want your right side, that's what you do. If you want the shiny side, you would turn it in, and you fold both pieces in half, pin it, and you're going to sew all the way down on one side. The other side, you're going to leave a little bit of an opening, and I'm going to show you why right here. So you want a little bit of an opening because you're going to push your fabric in there to close it off. And then the opposite side, you can close it and stitch it all the way down. Now you have the option of feeding your elastic through either side, the bigger side or the smaller side. I chose the big side, and once we're done, we're going to come through. We're going to put our elastics again together, overlap them, and then stitch, hand stitch it. And then we're going to just close that off. And these scrunchies can be made by hand. You just have to like stitch the straight line down and do everything by hand, or you can do it on the machine. Scrunchie DIY tutorials will make great spring and summer gifts. DIY satin or silk scrunchies is an easy hair scrunchie to sew when you are sewing a scrunchie. Now that you know how to make the perfect silk scrunchies, I have written a 9-page guide on different designing platforms that will help you get your creative juices out of your head and onto a digital platform. I have also included a list of learning tutorials to help you understand the platforms better. You can download the link at the guide in the description box. Also, are you interested in joining a group of creative minds like yourself? I have a Facebook page that is dedicated to sharing DIY crafts, fashion, home improvement ideas that you're able to join. Check out the link in the description box. Check out these videos next: alcohol ink, secret tips and tricks, and also collar bib, detachable collar. If you like these videos, hit the like button, be sure to subscribe, and share it with your family and friends.